Great to have both of you gentlemen here. Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
wow, what can I say? Is this show a phenomenon or what?
Very lucky to be a part of it, that's for sure.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Cary, let's just start with you because I understand you play Mayor Klein.
Yes.
What can you tell us about Mayor Klein?
Not so much. I can tell you that he's described as being very sleazy. He's a very egotistical, self-centered guy. I don't think he cares too much about other people's feelings or the community at large. I think he's more interested in just getting their votes. And he thinks the best way to do that is to throw parties. So he decides to throw the largest 4th of July bash that Hawkins has ever seen. And that's his main focus, just
Slick and
being
sleazy.
slick and sleazy.
Is that like a compliment or, you know, when you
I don't know.
I
try not to judge the characters I'm playing. But yeah, it was fun to do.
It's always good to be an actor because we know
Right.
you're not slick and sleazy in real life. Dacre, last season you came into the fold and we met Billy. Tell me a little bit about how much more we're going to learn about Billy in this season.
Yeah, I think we got a little bit of insight into his family life last season, which was really nice. This season I don't want to give too much away, but one of my hopes this season was to learn a little bit more about my upbringing with my biological mother. And I think that's something that's, let's say, extrapolated on a little bit more in this season, which is exciting in terms of backstory, in terms of his story arc as a whole. It's far more fleshed out, it's more interesting, the stakes are higher. It's been a real honor this
I'm
time.
sure, yeah, because, you know, listen, he was presented as the bad boy, but we understand there's some trauma growing up. And
Totally.
I understand that we're going to go back into your history. There's a younger Billy that is playing you, obviously, so we get to learn a little bit more about where he's coming from.
Yeah, well, I don't want to comment too much
No,
to give
understood.
away teasers, but the backstory component has been fantastic, and I think delving more into that antagonistic kind of positioning has been great because it leaves room for so many unusual acting choices, which was so much fun to play around with on set this season.
I'm sure. Cary, for you, when you come onto a set, you know, let's face it, this is a close-knit team we've got going here, you know. They've all been working together, and then, of course, Dacre came aboard last season. What's it like for you as an actor to come onto a set like that and kind of get into it?
I'll be honest, it was a little intimidating, you know, because I was a fan of the show to begin with, and I thought, well, how's this going to work out? I'm being the new guy on the block, and they couldn't have been more welcoming. These guys just made me feel like family right away, so that was really special.
What kind of challenged you with this role?
The idea of figuring out a way to make him, you know, not so just one-dimensional, because politicians tend to get, you know, painted with just one stroke, and so the Duffers came up with a backstory for him too. That's really interesting, and yeah, he's a complicated guy.
Yeah. Oh, good. No, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I'm so very, very excited. Now, the pictures that, of course, that we've seen of you already that have been released. Well, we've been noticing you at a pool. You're a lifeguard. You've got the mullet happening. The nice bod, might I say. You know, what was it like with that, you know, putting on that wig and getting into that mindset?
Well, this season was a real ritual, I'd say. I was commenting earlier that sort of towards the end of the season, almost throughout, hair and makeup was about 5 hours to get into. So it almost became a ritual of each cut and bruise and piece of prosthetic on my body that was accumulated chronologically throughout the series. It became a ritual of picking up where we left off. I've got 3 cuts on my right, you know, arm and 1 on my left leg, and this takes X amount of time. And by the end of the season, I'm so bloody done that I've just absolutely.
Get up so early in the morning.
But it was so lovely. I'm so close with the heads of department in both hair and makeup, so it was nice to just have that ritual.
Yeah.
The hair's longer, got a tattoo. It was just, yeah, it was fun.
It's fun, I'm sure, absolutely. I had the opportunity to talk to David Harbour about a couple months. He was in town for Hellboy, of course, and he was saying, didn't give me much either. You guys are very good, but he said it's a little bit of a lighter season, not as dark and crazy as it has been in the past. But what's cool, I think, is it's because it's in the summer. Everybody's off of school. What was it like to, you know, really just work with this cast, and especially to watch the kids who have grown up now, and see them work?
Yeah, I mean, like a family, you now are so invested in these guys because we've watched them grow up from being the little kids to now being teenagers, and so it's a beautiful thing, and they've all developed in such beautiful ways. They know the characters so well too, and it's a joy to watch. It really is.
Yeah.
It's very personal. This season is very, very personal, much more, I think, so, right, than the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
good. So much to look forward to, people. It's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic. Dacre, we were just talking a little bit off camera about how the first time I met Cary was just over 30 years ago for Princess Bride, which I can't even believe that movie is that. But it's just so many generations, and will still be watching that. Is it a movie that you grew up with? Like, were you excited to meet Cary?
Yeah,
and work with
definitely.
him?
And I remember definitely going, even in going to the first read, you know, mate, word gets around because you're not given the casting notice, let's say, and then when the first read comes around, it's like, well, so and so's here, and blah blah blah. And I think, definitely extremely excited. The narrative structure is so different this season that the storylines are kept very separate. Yeah. So we haven't really worked together, but after seeing his work, you know, watching the screeners of this season, it's fantastic, and I can speak abounds about, you know, mate, you did a really good job.
Thank
I
you.
don't doubt
That
it.
means a lot coming from you.
Oh, mate, I don't know. Look, it's
Were you
just
a
me.
Princess Bride fan?
Yeah. So it was nice to sort of meet everyone. It's just been, it's like you said, it's such a collaborative process.
It's the Duffers created an atmosphere of total collaboration on the set, which gives you the freedom to really explore and try new things.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Well, we can't wait for this season. It's just a few weeks away, and it's just a pleasure to have a chance to talk to both of you. And welcome to Hawkins, and keep coming to Hawkins, and just keep bringing us more.
Thank
Very,
you.
very exciting.
Thank
Very
you.
exciting. Thank you, guys.